So, g'day, punters. Mark here. Welcome back to the Betting 360 podcast. This episode brought to you by readybet.com.au. And we're going to do another big race preview today. And on the line from readybet.com.au, we've got Cameron O'Brien. How you going, Cam?
I'm great, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. So, we're going to have a look at the Australian Cup today. Time-honoured race, a few changes, been pushed back a bit. So it's after the All-Star Mile now, potentially clashes a little bit with the Sydney racing. What are your thoughts overall?
Yeah, well, it does actually clash with the Tancred in Sydney now. And as a result, that race, which is over 2,400 metres, that race has struggled to get a decent field up. It's got Gold Trip and then that sort of field falls away a bit because the majority of the weight for age runners are here running in this race instead to try to win the $3 million Australia Cup as opposed to the $1.5 million Tancred. Yeah. So, there doesn't seem to be any love lost in the war between New South Wales and Victoria. And, Peter Blandy's is keen to, do as much damage as he can to both brands at once. But, look, personally, I think states should try to work together, and it would be much better if the Tancred could stand alone and the Australia Cup stand alone. But at the end of the day, the Australia Cup's still an excellent race here, and it's going to be a really good weight for age challenge, as it generally is.
Yeah, it's an interesting race just generally because over its history, it's been through a lot of changes in terms of distance and conditions and everything. So we're now at 2,000 metres weight for age.
Yeah, and I like it as a race. I like it as 2,000 metres weight for age because I think in Australia that's a really classic kind of trip, and weight for age is obviously for the best quality of horses. I think there's a massive place for handicaps, but not every race should be a handicap and not every race weight for age. This is a great race to be weight for age. It's similar kind of horse to the Cox Plate, obviously 2,000 metres weight for age, but this is at Flemington, which is the best track in the country, and so it's I think I'm a fan of the race as a whole, and I like it as it is right now.
Saturday, it's got a reasonable field assembled. We might just kick off with, I guess, your thoughts on the map.
Yeah, look, I think the pace in this race should be okay because the pace is drawn wide pretty much. Maricino pushes on. Mo'unga can go forward, and then from better draws, Al Patroness and Numerian right up there. I think the pace should be even. Look, this is Flemington 2,000 metres, though. At the end of the day, Flemington 2,000 metres is exceptionally fair. I don't have any disadvantages on the map. The only disadvantage you can have on the map is if you're caught wide. But look, it's a big field, and I'll stretch out a bit. I think they'll all get in and get their chance. Cascadian, who is the race favourite, has drawn 11, which is okay. He will, of course, go right back as is his way, but it's Flemington who gets a chance to wind up. So I don't really have any big issues on the map. The only one who might get caught out a bit is Steinem, but barrier 12 is not the end of the world. It's no big issues on the map for me, and the pace should be okay.
So just looking at the market on ReadyBet now. So as you mentioned, Cascadian is favourite at $3.40 from Mo'unga at $7. And also in single figures, we've got Nonconformist and Right You Are at $7.50. You've given me your top six, so we might just run through them. I think you have got Cascadian on top, is that right?
Yep, I have. But shortly, as soon as we finish this bit of a podcast, I'm going to get on and push Cascadian out. I want to lay him, even though he's my top rater. I think he's under the odds. He's an 8-year-old. Look, he was good last start when he finished second in the All-Star Mile behind Mr. Brightside of the Valley. Mr. Brightside went quite well. And he's in very good form, but his top is more for me on softer tracks than on the dry tracks. The Valley sort of suits that. It was a dry track at the Valley last start, but sort of a bit more give in that track than you get at Flemington, unless we have a bit of rain over the next couple of days. But I think his best is on softer tracks, and he's not won at Flemington in 6 goes. Personally, I think I got him $6.40, so I'm happy to be against him. I think he's under the odds, and at ReadyBet we will be pushing him out to be top price, basically.
Good stuff. So as I said, you've got it on top, but not a big fan of the short price.
No, definitely not. At that price, I'm going to oppose, even though I think he's the top rater.
Interesting, though, in terms of value. In second, you've got, on the second line, you've got Bank MAUR, who's $14 at the moment.
Yeah, priced at about an $8.70 chance, so much shorter than the market and a value bet. A progressive 3-year-old who won the Alistair Clark just a week ago at the Valley and rated well. And he's got a good, solid base of ratings to improve it to a new level from as well. I think, I don't think it's I think your Einstein to work out that we haven't really seen his top yet. He's only had 9 starts, I think it is now. And so 3-year-old on the up, already a 2,000 meter winner in the Alistair Clark last start, 2,000 meters here again. Yeah, I think he's over the odds. He was at Flemington his previous 2 runs, and he got back and worked home. He was just 2 short trips, 1,400, 1,600. When he got out to 2,000, he hit his top, and I think he can keep improving. And yeah, I think he's well over the odds at roughly $15.
Your third pick also over the odds by the looks. Number 6, Smokin' Romans, $21 at the moment.
Yep, has raced well at Flemington here in the past. Has been okay. In 2 runs back, it doesn't look great. 2/8 in 2 runs back, but they've basically been warm-up runs for this. And he's a horse who's raced well at Flemington before. This is his trip. He's a 2,000 meter winner at Flemington in the Turnbull Stakes last year, as a matter of fact. And up near that, he's a big chance. I make him a $9.70 chance. He's about 25 to 1 or something. Big over the odds. He's just been a bit forgotten this prep because of his 2 quiet runs so far, but I think you'll be seeing a big improvement out of him on Saturday, and I think he's well overs.
The 10, He's a Shocker, is also $21 with Ready Bet.
Yeah, and I'm short of that as well. I'm $9.70 equal with Smokin' Roman, so equal third picks, the 2 of them. It's a little bit more speculative on He's a Shocker because he was a shocker first up. He ran 12th, beaten 7.6 lengths, and was just never in it. Like he just was back. He was well back in the field. I think he settled last, and he just didn't come on. So you've got to take him a bit on trust because his last start before that, so his run at the end of last prep was over 2,000 Flemington in the Champion Stakes, and he ran 3rd there, which is a Group 1 race, and he rated 114. That was behind Zaki. So fair difference between those 2 runs. 2 starts ago in that Champion Stakes, that makes him a solid chance in this. So for giving the first up run, and he's got Damien Oliver on board and should map a lot closer to. Settled up sort of 4th or 5th that day in the Champion Stakes, where he settled last first up over the mile on the Blamey. So maybe he was just there for the fitness run first up, but it was a poor run. But yeah, based on his form at the end of last prep, he's a winning chance and also over the odds.
The 4 is Nonconformist, $7.50 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm longer. I'm $11.80, but that's not that much longer. So I guess the market's got it pretty right. Nonconformist was a winner first up in the Blamey over the 1,600 metres, already a 2,000 metre winner in the past. Obviously likes Flemington based on the Blamey win. So there's a fair bit going right. He's actually come back at his equal top there at rating 113 on my figures. And when he gets to his top, he generally holds it. He's a consistent horse who holds form. So, yeah, he's a solid chance. And I think the market's got him about right.
And of your top chances, we've got also number 3, Moanga, $7 at the moment.
Yes, a bit of a costly punt, a horse. This one Moanga, and like the last one, I'm $14.50 double. I'm double that. I'll be pushing him on Ready Bet to try to take money for him as well. He hasn't won since August 2021, even though he's started favourite plenty of times, including starting $2.80 favourite in the Ranvet last start when he was beaten 5.5 by Dubai Honour. Moanga is a horse who the market constantly spooks and constantly pushes. His ability based on what they bet, the price, beyond anything he's ever done. So, yeah, look, you can have Moanga for mine. I'll be laying him.
Yeah, he made a bit of a mess of him, Dubai Honour, didn't he?
Yeah, he was really good. Very, very impressive. Very, very, very impressive horse, and a bit better than Moanga, that's for sure.
Well, sounds good. As you said, the classic distance 2,000 at Flemington, very fair, and sounds like amongst your top picks, there's a fair bit of value. So we might just run through the 6 of them with your rated prices. Yeah,
sure. So I'm from the top Cascadian, but I'm 640 in the markets, just a little bit more than half that. So I'll be, as I said, we'll be pushing Ready Bet, we'll be laying Cascadian. Then my value runners are 15 Bankmore, who I'm $8.70 about. And the next 2 are both $9.70, 6 Smokin' Romans and 10 He's a Shocker. And all 3 of those horses, Bankmore, Smokin' Romans and He's a Shocker, I'll be protecting and personally I'll be backing. And then Nonconformist to 4, I'm $11.80, and Moanga the 3, I'm $14.50. There's another one, Right You Are, who's right in the market as well, but I've got outside the top 6. I've got 20 to 1. That run of he's been winning a lot of races in a row, but his win last start was pretty much his top, I think, and so I don't think we've got any more improvement out of him. So I'm also willing to oppose him as well. So I'm a bit different to the market on this one for me.
Yeah, you are. Always good to see, which means punters should be able to find a bit at Ready Bet if they're keen on the favourite, particularly.
Yep. If you're keen on the favourite, you'll get a good price with us.
Good stuff. Thanks for that, Cam. Yeah, the autumn's still going strong. We've got some big Sydney races coming up as well. So we'll be back in touch with you guys in the coming weeks.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.